The Hoyer lift allows patients to be transferred with a minimum of physical effort. Safety considerations for the Hoyer lift include: do not attempt to use the Hoyer lift without previous experience operating the lift. It is best practice to have 2 people available for safe patient transfer. This is especially true under these circumstances: a very tall or very large patient, or a patient that is potentially combative or confused. Always explain the transfer sequence to the patient and describe what will be happening to prevent startling the patient. Be certain that the patient's weight is centered over the base of the legs of the lift at all times. The base must be opened to the widest possible position to maximize stability. Mechanism of the Hoyer lift. Manual and powered Hoyer lifts operate in the same manner. The manual versions have hydraulic cylinders and a hand pump. The powered Hoyer lift uses a battery pack and a push hand control button. Using the Hoyer lift sling. Be sure to pick the appropriate sling. This patient is being transferred with a sling appropriate for use with a commode. Check the sling for defects, tears, loose stitching, or worn-out loops. Do not use the sling if it looks unstable. Report to the supervisor for replacement. Make sure to pick the appropriate hooks for the patient and make sure that the colors are matching on each side. Transferring a patient from a bed to a chair with a Hoyer lift. If the patient is in a hospital bed, raise the bed to the highest level. Arrange all items: Hoyer, sling, and chair. The patient should be in the center of the twin bed or to one side of a double bed or a larger bed. Roll the patient on the side away from you. Make sure the side rail is up for patient safety on the side that the patient is rolled to. Put the folded sling behind the patient's back and roll them onto their back. The lower part of the sling should be above the knees of the patient. Roll the base of the Hoyer as far under the bed as possible, locating the cradle over the patient. When both of the sides of the sling are attached to their respective sides, raise the patient slowly. Raise the patient until their buttocks are just above the bed. This will bring the patient into a sitting position. Move the patient's legs and turn them so that their legs are dangling off the sides of the bed. Never push or pull the patient off the bed. Unlock the brakes, take hold of the steering handles, and move the patient away from the bed. Move them into a position over the seat of the chair. This video is using a commode to demonstrate chair transfer. If transferring to a wheelchair, be sure to lock the wheelchair brakes. Lower the patient into the chair. If transferring to a chair or commode without wheels, make sure to hold the chair steady when the patient is being lowered into the chair. Be aware of the patient's limbs when moving the patient. Their arms should be held close to their body. Be aware of the moving pieces of the Hoyer when transferring so that it does not come too near to the patient's head. The sling will remain under the patient and not be removed. It will be used when returning the patient back to their bed. To return the patient back to bed from either the commode or a chair, reverse this process. Open the base to the widest position and remember to apply the brake to the Hoyer before attaching the sling. Always protect the patient's head from the arm device of the Hoyer. Be careful with the patient limbs as you raise the sling. Release the Hoyer brake, then slowly bring the patient back to the bed. You will want the patient to hover directly over the bed, so adjust the height of the Hoyer as needed. Turn the patient and place them in the middle of the bed. Release the Hoyer arm slowly. The sling can be removed by having the patient bend their knees and roll carefully to each side in the same manner that it was applied. As always, remember to wash or sanitize your hands prior to and after providing any patient care.